Okay. So the morning huddle, that basically is going to stay the exact same. So 8:30 to 9. The Monday mastery class is going to stay the same. Mondays at 4, it will still rotate locations. So watch for the actual location. And then one thing that we added, we want to do some power prospecting together. And so we are going to be doing that on Wednesdays. We did this a couple times the last couple months, got together, and regardless how big the group is, it's a lot of fun. It's more fun to get together. Margarita was there. She's saying yes. It's just more fun to get together and do it as a group, and you can hear each other saying different things. We can, bounce ideas off each other and see what works in an effort just to enhance our lead generation. So a system that we are all going to commit to this year, as Nick would say, it's non-negotiable for him, and I've adopted that. Non-negotiable is to stick to the DTD2 system, which basically allows you to tag the people in your database with 2 letters of the alphabet every single week. So if you aren't aware of it, last week we did A and W, and we had root beer floats at 11 o'clock, and they were delicious. You missed it. Yes. They were so good with A and W root beer. So we don't want to bribe you to come to this, but if we have to, we will. So this Wednesday, we are actually going to be doing B and E. So we're going to do bacon and eggs. So if you come and come hang out with us, it's going to be Wednesday at Cottonwood. So this location is going to rotate each week as well. This week it will be in the Cottonwood office, and we will be having bacon and eggs, and it's going to go from 9 to 11:30, and that is going to include scripting, our prospecting, and then we will also move the 201 club if you want to be part of that, which will be at 11:30 to 12 on Wednesdays. So the idea is that we're going to script and role play, we're going to lead generate, and then we're going to go through accountability together all in one. So that's a lot on a Wednesday. Any questions?
It'll be done before lunch.
And it will be done before lunch.
I thought that was fantastic, and it also reminded me of, I'm like, maybe they moved it to Wednesdays because you know how we were doing the mid week or mid-month thing, like check yourself out at mid-month. So I'm like, oh, maybe that's fine. I don't know. But
we're gonna do it every Wednesday.
Super cute. I like it.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's early. I like it.
Yes.
Lead gen, accountability, all in one.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know, any questions or thoughts on that? We will still have our 201 club. So those of you that are new and maybe don't know what that is basically a super high accountability club. And the goal is to get everybody to 201 people in your database that have a 75% or higher in your command, which basically means you have their name, their address, their phone number, their email, their birthday, and maybe some form of social media. We've been working on how to get it to 100%, but 75 is possible. Margarita got a couple to 100%, so we know that's possible too. And so that is something you need to show up for. That one is in person. And we haven't really discussed, we do have a prize we'll be giving away for the last winners, and we will be giving away probably something for the new winners. We haven't come up with a new contest yet, but it'll be amazing. So jump in. So the next thing that we are adding is going to be our Ignite after hours. So this is a change to our current calendar. So instead of meeting on Thursdays at 4 o'clock, we're going to be doing Thursdays at 5:30 to 6:30, and it's going to be Zoom only. And so the reason we're doing this is we know a lot of people have other jobs. They have, need to leave and pick up children, need to beat the traffic, all of that stuff. So we want to get you guys to, to where you're situated, and you can hop on Zoom from 5:30 to 6:30. And so we're calling it Ignite After Dark. And we will also still be covering all of the basics you need. So like we did the CMAs last week. This week we're doing listing consultations. Yep, listing consultations, service listing. So a lot of the classes that you've heard before, we're just kind of moving the time. And that's Zoom only. So make note of that. Any questions on that? Were you saying something or no? Oh.
What about the book club?
Yes. So the MREA book club, we're super excited to be doing this. As a lot of you know, we did have a book club going the previous quarter. That was in person. We were kind of toying around with that. A few of you were involved. It kind of fizzled out, would fizzle back. So what we have decided to do is we are going to join the International Book Club. So for many reasons, number one, you get the insight from people all over the world, what is happening in, in their real estate worlds. It is going to be on Zoom, so nice and convenient. You can do it from anywhere. And one of my favorite things about it is Jen Lewis is going to be the person who's facilitating this. What is her exact title?
I was just.
You knew I was going to ask you that, huh? So I don't know her exact title, but she basically is like right up there with Gary Keller every single day. So not only is she just super important with the company, she's just a very cool lady. And I think you guys will love her. Some of you may have seen her. She came to Utah a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And so some of us, ALC, things like that, we did get to go hear her speak, but she's amazing. So I'm so excited.
Jen Lewis.
Jen Lewis.
Team leader.
Okay. Director of Team Leader Community. So basically team leaders run the offices. So she's in charge of people who run offices. So it's going to be super exciting. So that starts on January 11th as well. So that will be Thursdays from 2 to 3. So we hope that you'll be able to join in on that. The MRA book club, I mean, that book, we need to know it inside and out. Can't say enough about that. And then obviously we will still have our Ignite. That's gonna stay the exact same. It will be the second full week of every single month at the Cottonwood Heights location because they have great parking. It's centrally located right off the freeway. It makes sense for all of us to be there. So that will continue. What did I miss? Any other changes or additions to our regular stuff?
No, I think that's it. Does anyone have comments or questions or don't forget
Thoughts?
Yeah. Don't forget to lead generate every day.
Yes, the 9 to 11 is still on there for your own lead generation time. We just incorporated getting together once a week to do it.
Yeah, we really want to get some energy, get people there so that we can have some good energy on those Wednesday.
Yes. Okay, so we hope to see you guys all, not tomorrow, Wednesday. Told you I'm in a time warp. I'm getting out of it.
Don't forget, tomorrow there's cool stuff going on.
Oh my gosh, yes. Why don't you turn on, because I don't think they can hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn my volume
Up too. Is that good? Good. Okay. So tomorrow we have a couple cool things. So of course there's the I don't know if it's on. No, it's not. Okay, so there's a class. I'm gonna try to put it together. How to win and work with investor clients. So if you've wanted to be involved in the investing community, or if you already are, it'd be a great place for you to learn a little bit more about that and about how we can actually bring value to our clients. Because the thing about investors for me is that sometimes they think they don't need us, or sometimes it's hard for us to show our value to investor clients because they do buy and sell a lot of homes. So I think it'll be super valuable to know, okay, this is where we can really shine and add value to them, which there's a million ways we can do that. So that's tomorrow. It's from 1 to 4. Okay. Put it in the chat. It is, I'm going to read it from the chat. Oh. Yes. The one that's like 90th South. So yeah. So yeah, we love free. Yeah, a lot of times these are because these really are out of state trainers that are coming in. So a lot of times that would be a paid class, but it's free. So take advantage of it. That'll be a good way to dig up a few extra deals this year. Anything else? What else do we miss? The NLP thing. Yes, there is. I did not pull it up, but I personally will be there. So if I see value in it, maybe some of you would too. I know Terry sees value in it, but she's like an NLP expert at this point. So NLP. Let's see if it's on here enough. It's called Intro to NLP for Sales, Coaching, and Leadership. So it's a class. It's a 2-day class. It's several hours for both days in a row. But they're bringing in John Vandergenst, which I don't know if you've met him before. He's an awesome trainer. Spent a lot of time and money visiting him in Austin because he really is just a great leader. But anyways, he's going to be teaching us NLP. NLP is like the language of sales. It's there's a lot of different angles to NLP, but at least when it comes to sales and business, it's how to say the right things. It's just how to connect with people the best. So it's got a lot of psychology. Is that how you would kind of describe it? So that really the psychology, knowing what makes people do certain things and then making sure that you're connecting with those to get the best results. So it'll be super good. That one is not free. That one is $150 for the 2-day class. And I know right now they're running a special where you get 2 for $150. So if you, yep, 2 people. So if you have a friend that wants to do it as well, you can pair up. It'll be great. Let us, what?
You said 2 for a walk earlier. I thought it was like 2 instructors for the price of.
Oh,
Okay.
that's,
No.
yeah, no, that's what we do in the coaching program. 2 coaches for the price of 1. But okay, now my sharing is a little crazy because I'm out of the email where it shows our calendar. But anyway, so that's what we're doing. We're still having our morning calls. We're still doing our 2 classes a week. The Thursday or 3 classes a week. The Thursday one is just a little bit later now and it's on Zoom. Any comments, questions? Okay. Okay, you're already a host.
Can you hear me? Hopefully. All right. So I am going to share my screen now. And oops, let's put you away.
Maybe just I'm sure you will, but like to remove the other one and that's fine.
Mhm. Yeah. So you can find this in the email. I'm gonna go through what I've sent. Nope, not that one. This one. So in This Week in Coaching, at the bottom, there's a link right here, and I'm gonna copy and paste this. But you can also click it and it'll open it, and this is trying to add to my Apple Calendar, but I've already done that, so I'm gonna ignore it. But I'm copying it and I'm going to my Google Calendar. And so we have this old 2023 production coaching, and so you can X to remove it or just uncheck it. We are gonna add as part of the other calendars. Click the plus, and then we're subscribing to a calendar. So you can click that or just from URL. And so in here, I'm now going to paste that link that I copied from the email and add calendar. And now when I go back to my calendar, it is in there right here, and I can click that button to remove it or put it back.
Cool.
And then you will have everything in your calendars that we have to offer. For the MRA book club, it has the Zoom links for that with the KWRI. When things get canceled, like if we're to look at next week, the Monday Mastery because of Martin Luther King Jr. is canceled. So everything will be up to date for you to know where things are, when things are, and what things are going to be.
Canceled because of Martin Luther King.
Yeah, we love him.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, comments, questions before we go to the other part of today? We're gonna go into some content. Any questions? Did we confuse you? Did we lose you? Do we want to introduce people? Could do it. I'm gonna.
People.
Okay, I'm gonna go on mute so that they can talk over there.
Okay, so this is Margarita. If you guys don't know her, I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, Margarita.
Where are you from?
Let's see.
What location are you at?
Okay, so I am at the Kentwood Heights office. I've been here in real estate since April of last year. So I'm just so thankful to be with you guys because you guys are very helpful in everything. So, yeah.
Aw, thanks. We're happy you're here too. So you know Sari, I would say Janet is pretty new. Janet, do you want to introduce yourself? If you don't come off mute, we'll assume you don't want to. It's okay.
Hi, so my name is Janet and I just started like a month ago.
Wow.
It's been
Awesome.
I don't know what else to say.
What office are you at?
The South Valley.
Cool.
Very cool.
You sound very young.
I'm 19.
Oh,
19,
that's
yeah.
amazing. Jeez.
Yes, I wish I would have got started at 19.
Congratulations. Same.
Exciting. And then we have Kelsey. Not everybody knows Kelsey. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I've been with Keller Williams for like maybe 6 months now. I'm out of the South Valley office.
Very neat. Jeez, I'm about to move to South Valley office.
No. Yes, Kelsey's really gotten into the dialer and has had some good and not so good responses. Mostly
Keeps
good.
it interesting.
Yes. Keep showing your toes.
Yeah.
And Sari, we do know Sari, but you
Yes.
say what the rest of
Yeah.
Okay, so I could only hear like half of that. What?
We would like you to introduce yourself too.
I was gonna, I have been doing real estate with Keller since April, and I'm in the South Valley office also, and
That's her.
cannot think of anything else interesting to say. Sorry, I'll work on it. I'll do better next time. Maybe.
Sari, you're missed here.
Sari.
We missed you here.
Oh, I almost came in today.
Almost. So close,
Almost.
but far away.
Jesse, want to introduce yourself?
I'm Jesse King. I'm with Cross Country Mortgage. You'll see either me or my brother Ryan on here. We show up just to show support for you guys, the newer agents, kind of offer some advice on our end, and then just be here to help out whenever needed. So glad to be here.
Very helpful too.
Very helpful, yes.
How about Marcel?
Maybe he's driving.
I love this guy.
He said what?
He said he'll let me talk. How sweet.
Oh, good. Liz, your picture's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much.
The way he
so
wrote it, it looks like he fired you.
I let Liz go. Well, I guess I don't need to be on this call then. Just kidding. Just kidding.
We want you here.
Okay, so I'm Liz. I work with Marcel. We are in title. Pretty similar to what Jesse said. We're here to support you guys with title and business development as well. We're here to help you guys source some leads too. We're just here to be another member on your team and help you out.
Awesome. She has beautiful
Love it.
handwriting too.
And she has beautiful handwriting. Yes, that is
That's
true.
what counts. Yeah.
Awesome. So hopefully everybody knows everybody now. I'm glad that you did that so we could all get to know each other.
For sure.
And Sari is shouting out to Jesse, Marcel, and Liz. I would agree.
Totally.
Very cool. Oh, and Liz got her job back. Whew. You passed.
Well, that's the point. Four.
Yeah.
Already.
Okay, Nick, you're gonna talk now.
Okay, are we gonna pass back and forth?
Yes.
All right. Okay, all right. So today, one of the things that we wanted to talk about is Gary Keller. I'm on mute. Sorry. One of the things that the main thing we wanted to cover today is the 4 laws of lead generation. So the laws of lead generation are super interesting because they were written by Gary Keller, so we pay attention to them. And what I like, he calls them the 4 laws of lead generation. I call them how to run a real estate business, basically. So it's just 4 steps. And the cool thing about it is these 4 steps basically can help you identify where your business is now and where the holes might be, where the gaps might be, so that you can move it forward. So there's 4 different steps. This is all from the MREA. There's 4 different steps and we're going to cover each of them. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'll just run through the 4 real quick and then we'll go in depth on each one. So the 4 steps, the 4 laws of lead generation are: number 1, build a database. Number 2, systematically communicate with it. So there is a dispute and there okay, the graphic that I had said it the other way, and so I've gone with that for years until today. But I do think that MREA has them switched. So it's I'm going to give you my 4 and then I'll tell you how they switch it, okay? I'll give you my 4 and then I'll give you Gary's 4. So step 1, build a database. Step 2, systematically communicate with it. Step 3 is add to it every day. And add to it every day. And step 4 is to service all the leads that come your way. So, and the 2 that can get flipped are 2 and 3. I'm pretty sure MRA says add to it every day and then systematically communicate with it. So whichever way you slice it, those are kind of the basics on there. Yeah, it's really a good thing. We use it in our coaching a lot because it's like, okay, where are you at? Where are you at on these 4 different things? If you've got all 4 of these things in place and they're running at a high level, you're good to go. If you want to just do a little bit better in each of them, that's great. But if you're missing any of these 4 things, then we just need to go ahead and get it going. So Rome was not built in a day, but the 4th one is service all the leads that come your way. So it doesn't, on day 1, it's not going to be set up with all 4 of those things. However, really quickly, you want to get all of those 4 things put into place so you can start building momentum in your real estate business. So I'm going to pass it back to Terry to talk about the first one. Oh, do you want me to type it in? What do you? All right. She's going to put the 4 laws here. And I'm going on mute.
Okay, so I just typed it in there. So it's a little bit, so you can remember just kind of the single words. So build it, communicate with it, feed it, and service it. And then breaking it down would be like what he said, communicate. We want to communicate systematically, but he's going to cover that. So I'm going to talk about building your database. And I just want to show you guys a graphic really quick. It's going to take me just a second to get to it. Have all of my stuff up here. So what I want to show you after I navigate all the bars is this. So how many of you guys have seen this before, this graphic? It's almost there. Have you guys seen this before? Few of us have seen this. So this kind of really touches back on the 201 Club. So when it comes to building a database, like why do we want to build a database, I think is the most important question to answer. And this is all becoming part of the 201 Club. And there's a reason for the 201 Club. So if you look at this, sorry, Marguerite, I know you're trying to look in my, got to move some Zoom things around. So if you look at this down here, you can see the number of contacts people have in their database. And this is basically all data that they've been gathering through Command. So looking through Command, the people with a database of 201 or more, that is right where they start to hit the $100,000 mark in income. And it goes up from there. So if you're looking, we hear a lot, most people, when we sit down with them, especially, you know, as you kind of get into real estate, you're not quite sure what is possible. So I personally feel, Nick probably hears it too, but I feel a lot when I ask people what are their goals, it's always to make $100,000. Like day one, I want to make $100,000. So this is the perfect formula for being able to do that. So we've got to get you to a database of 201 or more, and you're consistently following up with it. So there are more components than just having 201 people in there, but basically this just shows you like the power of why we would want to build a database. So yeah, that basically is my build a database. Questions on that? Okay.
That's very neat.
All right, I'm going to take it back. So when we talk about systematically communicating with our databases, the reason it's so important, of course, so if we look at the why do we want to stay in touch with them consistently is because if we do that, we're going to get a certain ratio. Who knows what that ratio is? 10%. Yep. Yep. So for every 10 people that you have in your database, you're going to get one transaction every single year from them. So if your goal is to do 10 transactions, you need to have at least 100 people in your database. If your goal is to do 20 transactions, you need to have 200 people in your database. So it's just the math. That's the cool thing, is that it's super systematic. It's super systematic the way that you're actually going to get there. So if you don't have a database of 200, and or you aren't staying in communication with your people, you're probably not going to hit your goal, right? So it's just nice to be able to look back and check that. I'm actually going to show you a couple things. So when it comes to systematically communicating with them, a lot of times we use the 36 touch method, right? So 36 times throughout the year that you need to be in front of your people. And the math really works out so that you're going to be in front of them about every 10 days. So why is that important? It's important because we don't know when they're going to need to make a move or when they're going to run into someone who might want to buy or sell a home. And we want to make sure that we're at the top of their mind. If we're not the first person that they think of when they think of real estate, they may call someone else. They may walk into an open house, a new construction model home. You know, it just depends what their situation is. So we need to be the one that's always in front of them. Remember, it's our job to stay in front of them all the time. It's not their job to always remember us. Hey, we're not in control of that anyways. So we have to make sure that we stay in front of them. So 36 touch is kind of the method that we use, which is so funny because also in MREA it says 33 touch, but we've chosen 36. I don't know who decided that, but anyway, so 36 touches is the minimum. A lot of agents, if you talk to the top performing agents, a lot of them are going to tell you that they do much more than 36 touches every year. So I wanted to give you a quick idea, and I feel like we've added so much to this that it might be more confusing today than it was in past. But I always like to share with you like the real thing. Maybe this one is, let me see. Okay. I'm going to show you one that's a hair simpler. You can see ours. So this is the one that we actually use on our team, but it's a little heavy duty. If you can't tell, there's like a lot of writing on it and stuff. So it's just clarifying things, I think. So, but you can kind of get an idea. What's a good 36 touch? What's a good 36 touch program? Well, what we have is we have a postcard that goes out every single month. We have a monthly neighborhood nurture, which is AKA an automated email that goes out once a month. A market update text that goes out, a text that goes out every month. It's not always market update. And then we have a quarterly call. So this just says every month. So in January, we have to click that we've made a third of those quarterly calls. So we have these actual sheets that we check off because that's the way.
The checkbox.
Totally.
Because you have to be honest with yourself. Like, did we do this? And you're checking.
Totally. And so if we go back and look at this and it's like, oh, we didn't do that, then it's like, okay, well, next time you lose a deal, we're going to know it probably came from that. So, you know, it really is. You have to be honest with ourselves. Like, did we do everything that we could have? Did we do what it took to make sure it happened? So yeah, we do a third of the quarterly calls each month so that we can get through the whole group. And the one that we don't even have on here is Kimber's email. So Kimber's 36 touch email we do use. It's really high quality. It's great stuff. We do use that, and that's probably on our new one now. Yeah, check 36 touch smart plan and monthly neighborhood nurture and command, add on to any contacts that need it. So we're bulk adding it to anyone who doesn't have it every single month to make sure that people aren't missing those touches. So you can totally change these however you want. I can put a link if you want to steal this and then go put in your own stuff. But the thing is, you just want to make sure that every single month has at least 3 touches. That'll make sure that obviously you get up to 36. And yeah, if you're not doing this, if you're not staying in touch with them this consistently, then you just can't expect to get those results. So that's why it's really important. And a couple other things, one tip is that I like to go in patterns. So you'll see like number one is like on our postcards are the top ones. The market update postcard is going to be at the beginning of every quarter. So like January is going to be a market update postcard. February might be about an event. And then the third one is going to be a spring checklist postcard. So they go in order. It's kind of like a market update, an event, and then something fun or like some content that we give them. And then it starts over. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you clearly have the full entire year. How far in advance are you creating like your spring checklist? I'm assuming it's gotta be made a month in advance.
Yeah.
So also powerful that you've got it planned out for the whole year. Power in that, but
Totally.
how soon in advance do you do?
Yeah. So honestly, we plan them about a month in advance. But in a perfect world, and we're trying to move ahead on all this stuff because so many of these could be done a year in advance. And that would make it so easy to do all this stuff. We're just not quite that far ahead. And we are using command. Yep. And yeah, so it's like when you're looking at if it's going to be one of your 36 touches, it has to hit everyone. Now, to be fair, is it going to hit everyone? No, not everyone's going to have an address or whatever. So all of these, your whole goal is to make sure they get to as all those people. That would be your main goal. It won't always be that way. And for that reason, like postcard maybe is the worst example because it is the most expensive. And the truth is when it comes to your 36 touch, consistency is the most important. So if you don't have like a little savings account you could put on the side that says these are for postcards only for the next year, like if you're not that committed to it, or if you're worried about the cash flow side of it, which I know a lot of you have told me, then just skip that one for now. Lean on the calls, the texts, the emails, the social media, because those are going to be your free ones. But for us, we like the postcard. It's just one additional way. They might block our phone number. They might unsubscribe from our emails. They're getting our postcard, right? So, anyways, but I just think going in a little pattern helps us, and we can switch them like with our February and March postcards. Sometimes Death by Chocolate is in February. Historically it's been more in February, but over the last couple of years, it's moved more to March. So, we're still flexible, but having a general idea just lets you know that, hey, anyone I add into my database, I know I'm gonna have a plan to stay in touch with them. So that's what's important to us. So any questions on that? Sari has a question. Do you guys think postcards or mailed newsletters are more expensive? It's a good question. Does anyone have any insight on that?
Yeah, it depends how big it is, like.
Yeah. The weight of the stamp and the cost of printing are the differences.
Yeah, I think he just said the weight and the cost of the stamp could be the difference. Yeah, I mean, one of the differences to me is it would probably be easier to make a good looking. I don't know. I guess either of them would be fine. Yeah, postcards should be cheaper for postage. Yeah.
And I would also say, but like the 36 touch email to me looks like a newsletter because it says this month in real estate.
Totally.
So I personally call them my newsletter.
Totally. So Terry said the 36 touch, yeah, the 36 touch plan from Kimber, it does kind of look like a newsletter. So, oh, perfect. So, but yeah, there's all different formats you can do for the newsletter. Yeah, whatever works best for you. Whatever you'll do, that's probably the most important.
I think this.
Okay, love it. Love it. Here, okay, if you guys are doing that, maybe someone else wants it too. I'm just gonna put this. I'm gonna put this template link in case it's helpful for anyone. You can use this exact template, or you can just steal the ideas off of it or whatever. None of it is secret, so. And none of it's fancy either. It's just planned out, which is kind of cool. All right. Any other questions on systematically communicating with them? I'd probably be crazy if I didn't say quarterly calls. Quarterly calls are like, that is the thing. That's why the DTD2 is so important, because it's helping us do our quarterly calls. If you do all the other stuff but no quarterly calls, you just can't expect to get the same results. So yeah.
Like options to get people. So I printed out my contact list. And I feel like that was so much harder to like stay on top of it. And I even like outlined, it wasn't even that many people per day. It was like maybe like 4 or 5 people per day. And but I don't know why. Like I guess like I just like started slacking on it, and then it's like, oh, like they would add up like per day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I started doing the DTD2 this year, and I feel like that one's way easier for me. It's like, okay, all these letters in this, and I've noticed that there's a lot more of certain letters than others.
Mhm.
Like A's.
Yeah, and I love B's, and I had like no E's, or I don't remember E. I don't remember what letter W. I had no W's, but anyway, it gave me kind of like a, okay, I can split this up into this week, like a certain amount of people into this week.
Totally.
And then you can just be done when you're done.
Yeah, super awesome. I really like it so far.
Good.
Love it.
Love, love.
All right. All right. I'm passing it to you. And depending on which
order you follow for
the laws, but
So I think we're going to feed it.
Yeah.
So we're
yes,
doing
yes.
Okay.
Which I think I
That's
said
what
add
I'm
to it, but feed it. That's how
Yes. Feed it. So what I wanted to do with feed it, so basically the idea here is that we are adding to the database every single day. So we're constantly, you have to keep feeding it in order for it to stay big. And if your goals are more than, say the 201 club, which is 20 deals, you want to do 30 deals or 40 deals, you have to grow that database. So every single day, I would encourage you to make a goal around building your database and who you're going to add to it. So I just created a few questions that I think would help you determine who you're going to be putting in there every day. I got to find it through all of our shares here. Please hold. It's here somewhere. But really just, usually that's the question I get is who am I going to add every single day? And so I just kind of came up with some questions of people that you guys could add to. So on here, really think about like, who did you run into yesterday? Who did you meet yesterday? Was it on the phone? Was it in an open house? Was it, who did you meet? That is somebody that should absolutely go into your database. Did you, we just came off a weekend. Did you attend a party? Did you go to a wedding? Did you go to, think of where you've been, basically. Who did I meet over the weekend? Where can I go today to network with people? So if you're not quite sure where you should run into people, ask yourself that. Where could I go today? We know people on this call that went to the grocery store and got a deal. We know people on this call that went and talked to business people and got a deal. You went and got your hair done and you got a deal. Like there's anywhere you can go where there's people, you can talk to them. So think about where can I go today? And be intentional about talking to people and adding them to my database. I also think being intentional on who social media, who liked your posts, who commented on your posts. Think about that. So what could I post today that gets me a lot of engagement when somebody likes it? Go start direct messaging them, communicate with them. Hey, I noticed you liked my post. How's it going? What are your plans for the week? All of that stuff. So what is it? Oh my gosh, that's so weird. We have a weird noise in the room. Sorry for the distraction, guys. Sounded like somebody was playing a game, like a video game. I was like, what is happening? Anyway, so be intentional about your posts. What are you posting and who's commenting? And adding those people into your database as well. Direct message them. That's when you could maybe offer them, hey, you know, I have this cool client appreciation program or this cool VIP program, whatever you're calling your database, and invite them into it. Direct messaging is a really good way to do that on social media. Where did I spend my money? I like to do this a lot. Like if I'm going to go spend money with somebody, I want them to send things back my way, right? So kind of going back to where do you get your hair done? Where do you get your hair cut? Where do you drop off your dry cleaning? Who do you spend insurance with? Who do you buy insurance through? Anywhere you spend money, it's really a business to business person. So when you're spending your money, can I put this person back into my database and start marketing to them? And the answer is yes. I can't remember if it was Marcel on here. I know he's busy, but some of our vendors basically told me that they do not receive communications through other people. So if you ever thought about, I shouldn't market to my home inspector, or I shouldn't market to somebody that knows a lot of realtors, I would suggest think again, because a lot of times nobody else is marketing to them. So you might as well be. So anywhere you spend your money, any business partners you have, put them back in your database and start marketing to them.
It doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Shoot, sorry,
Terry-
we had a computer die.
Terry just dropped the mic.
Would you add that to your basic email, like the people that know other realtors?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, lots of people, I'm just like, I don't know if I should like add this, but if we already have a bunch of other people, like, maybe I'll like disturb them with my emails or whatever. What are your thoughts?
I think it's around mindset, because you're not, if your emails are actually just, if your emails are disturbing, then that might be just, maybe let's just double check. But yeah, but really it's like they weren't designed to bother people. They were designed to add value to people. So if you don't feel like they do, then find something else or something, or maybe you just discover, oh yeah, I think they actually do add value, you know?
Like, they already probably have so many other realtors that they know, and it's just like, what more?
Totally. And it's
that thing too.
yeah, and we're not commodities. So like you can know a lot of realtors, and I'm not trying to box you out, Jesse, I promise. Okay, good. So yeah, we're not commodities. So, you might think that they have, one of my clients is like a pretty big sales trainer. And I'm just like, there's no way he would ever, sell his house with me. He totally did. And he actually called me because I didn't call him. Like he called me. I think I had him on mailers and stuff, but I didn't call him because I was just kind of scared. And I was like, oh, he's probably got so many other realtors. He literally had me sell his house because he was most impressed with me. And that's just like, because our personalities connected. Yeah. So yeah, don't assume anything like that. Definitely don't assume. And worst case scenario, if they don't use you, they may send you a referral, or they may even just, like for me, I have friends that don't use me, but I like them to get my stuff because they say nice things about me, or they say, oh wow, Nick's really on top of it. Them just saying that to maybe one of our other friends might be enough to make sure that they use me also. So Marcel, were you trying to say something in the mix up, I think?
I just saying it never hurts to ask.
Yeah.
So, and I think actually the last person to ask me was Jake. So good job, Jake.
Wow.
Way to go, Jake.
You're the last one to ask him for real estate business, it sounds like. Or like a real estate deal. That's awesome.
That's awesome. So yeah, so I would say wrapping up my feed it to your database is just be intentional about it. So I got to kick off Ignite this morning, and I think it's such a good reminder of our 10-4. So really you should be adding at least 10 people to your database every single day, if not more, or whatever you figured out based on your goals. Cause sometimes it is small. Sometimes it's 5 a day. Sometimes it's 1 a day. I've broken mine down when I'm trying to double my database and things like that. And it's not even 10 a day. So if you don't have a number, stick to 10 a day until you know what your number is, but intentionally build your database and feed it every single day is what I would say with that.
Love it. Any comments, questions on that one?
And then you can wrap up the.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over. What was the thing I was gonna show you? Oh, I know. So I'm gonna go over step number 4, which is service all the leads that come your way. And I always just think that's such a funny thing. Like when I got into the business, I thought, wow, that's a very funny. I think I'm gonna set it here so that you guys don't go on like this roller coaster ride of where my camera is. Oh, plus you get Terry in the background. Look at that. So, okay. So, step 4 is service all the leads that come your way. And I always thought it was so funny because it was just like, why would you do all these things to get leads and then not follow up with them? Also, has anyone ever done a bunch to get leads and then not follow up with them? Anyone? You haven't? Dang. Jesse has to follow up with his leads, so.
I don't believe in it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's the same with us, but
Yeah.
sometimes people still don't do it. So, okay, so it is super important. So that just means you have to have a plan. How are we going to log these leads? How are we going to track them through the system? How are we going to make sure that we know exactly where they're at and continue to move them through our pipeline? So, there is a way to do that right within Command. So I don't know if you guys, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the opportunity applet here. But if you go to your command and then go to opportunities, it's these handshakes. Then you can go into all opportunities, or these will show kind of some different accounts and whatnot. But you can actually go in here. So you can say, you can sort by phase. And you can look at all of the active clients that you have. So these are active buyers and sellers that we have right here. We have which active means we've had an appointment with them. We have a contract with them. Appointment for us, that means that our next step is like, we really need to do a listing consultation or a buyer consultation. But anyways, you can kind of, and we've got a few pages. It's kind of hard to see it the way that this is set up. The way that my Zoom is blocking everything that I need. But let's see. Really is. Okay. So then you can go to the next page. You can look at just your actives. You can look at your appointments. You can look at your pendings, your closed. You can kind of sort through there. So what we do every week, on my team, every week we do a pipeline review. So obviously we're not looking at really closed ones, but we're looking at the active, the pending, the appointments. There's also one that's like the C word. It's what is it? Not that one. No, not consultation. Where is it? Cultivate. No. It's not that. Wow. Cultivate. So cultivate, those are the ones that go through. Cultivate. So cultivates are just like, maybe cultivates are a little less promising for us. So cultivates are like, hey, we need to keep working with them. We need to stay in front of them. So there's all different statuses and phases that you can put people in. So you can even choose those. They're actually editable when you go into someone's opportunity. You can edit what those different stages say and then which one each lead is put into. So anyways, this is what we do literally every single week. Literally did it this morning. Pull it up, go through, okay, here's all our potential deals. Here's where they're all at. Make sure that we're calling each one of them this week and figure out exactly who's going to call them, exactly what that conversation is going to sound like. So this just helps to make sure that we always stay on top of our people. So it's just having a place to, when you get those leads, you can put them in somewhere and have a system to follow up with them. You could also do a smart plan. There's definitely a lot of smart plans that can remind you every week, like a weekly call, smart plan. I know there are some of those. There's some even in our library, even in our teams of the library, where you can just say, hey, remind me to call this person every week. And every week it'll just pop up a new task and tell you that you need to call them. So it's super simple. You just need to have a way that you stay in touch with your people and let them know, what the next step in the process is and push them along. Any comments or some more specific questions on how we follow up with leads or?
Like add on everyone, when you add to your timeline, there's also the opportunities to add everyone on the opportunity.
Yeah, so it's very subjective. So anyone can do it however you want. Some do like hot, warm, cold, like that's kind of the old school way or like the simple way, So as long as you know what they mean and what your plan is to follow up with each of those categories, I think you're good. We do an opportunity for anyone who says that they have a desire to buy or sell. So that could be tomorrow or it could be a year from now, honestly. But anyone who's done that, we put them as an opportunity because we know every week we're going to go through those opportunities and move them forward. So it just helps keep us accountable.
And do you label, sorry, I found it overcomplicating it. The hot, warm, cold versus the cultivate and all these actives and all that. Can you name your own then?
You literally can name your own.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
There's not everything in Command can you totally customize, but you can have custom phases and what's the other phase and stage. Yeah, phase and stage. That's right. So you can literally choose whatever they are. So I would just say, don't make it crazy complicated because sometimes you want to put them in little tiny categories like people that I met at the grocery store or people that I went to elementary school with. These are all Sari examples, but they're so specific that there's only one person in there. It's like people I've met at Harmon's, people I've met at Peterson's. So it's like if you get them into too small of chunks, it doesn't help you because you're still going one by one. So that's why I do think it's good to have big chunks where you can just call through all of them, but you can organize them however makes the most sense. So buyers, sellers, they will be listed as either buyer or listing opportunities. So, and then one little trick that I do because we don't do leases, I don't do leases at least. And unless you're in commercial, most people wouldn't. So I use the tenant opportunity type. Which is like for a renter. I use that for referrals. So whenever I have a referral that I'm sending to another state, I put them in as a tenant opportunity because those you can't choose. You have to choose buyer, listing, tenant, or landlord, I think. Something like that. And so I just do that just so that they're all categorized a certain way. And then I can just go, that's just a little reminder where I can go look at my referrals that I have going on right now. So.
Awesome.
So follow up with your people. There's no sense in doing all the lead gen if you're not going to follow up with them. And it's way easier to do it if you have a plan to systematically communicate with them. If you've already got it, then it's just like anytime you add someone in there, it's such a leveraged effort to build trust with them because they're going to get all these different things. They're going to get a call from you. They're going to get things in their mailbox. Makes it super easy. So any comments or questions on that? We got one new message. Oh, it's Sari. Yeah, all the Sari categories.
Just go back to, I love how you said these 4 laws really are just running the business. Because if you've got one going, then the other one has to go. It doesn't make sense if they all work on each other. So that was a big aha today.
Awesome. Yeah, I really like to take those 4 things and just rate yourself. Rate yourself on, do you have a database? Are there people in it? Do you have a way to systematically communicate with them? Are you feeding it every day? Do you have a system to follow up with your leads? And then you can rate yourself and then you can find, okay, how am I going to take that to the next level? So then it's only 4 categories you have to rate yourself on and you can make adjustments. Cool. Okay, anything else?
Team
Well-
meetings tomorrow, investor class tomorrow.
Yep. We appreciate you guys. Let us know what we can do for you and we'll see you out there.
Oh, good question. Have you seen the what's it called, those like check-in papers that we did every week, like,
Yes, that's in the 201.
okay.
Yes.
Yep, 201 Club, but the 201 Club is now at 11:30 on Wednesdays.
Jeez.
Thanks, guys.
Half hour.